Hello again, Speedrun viewers, and welcome to the very first match of the losers bracket of GSA SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom No SBA 80% Winner Invitational. Today's race features two players on the cusp of getting a 59, with Pixelated Chaos being 4 seconds away and culinwino 9 seconds away. There could be a lot of fireworks tonight, as these two have been grinding away at their times for a while and could get the run they want at any minute. I'm joined by my co-commentators Jack Lackett and Jessway. How do you guys feel about this race?
Jack, go ahead.
All right. I mean, they're both they're two players that are so close to 59. Like, I feel like it could happen. There's an equal chance of a 59 happening for both of them, or just like there's an equal chance of who's gonna win this match. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, for me, I think the fact that both of these players are in losers just is a testament to how competitive this event is. These are two really good players, and I think it's definitely going to be one of those we've already had a few spicy matches on the winners side, not and these guys were kind of in there as well. So I definitely think it's going to be an interesting one to watch.
All right, both runners off. Getting a good oat skip.
Yeah, gotta have your oats, Gotta have your oats.
I prefer bran flakes.
Raisin bran is all right, but the mini wheats are where it's at.
Ooh, okay, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, frosted mini wheats. Can we get some frosted mini wheats?
Go.
So yeah, just like I think it's crazy. I mentioned earlier, like both of these guys are right on the cusp of 59s. And they're any percent runs. I just think it's crazy to see them on this losers bracket. Like to already go down like these guys. Like Cullen going down to Jack, and probably one of the best races of the tournament so far. And Pixel having a close one with Tower as well. I just think it's crazy already, the level of competition we're seeing from these guys.
Yeah, especially since the entry for this tournament was the qualifying time to enter this tournament was a 59 or a 101, like in that range.
Yeah.
And like first rounds of losers bracket in the 59 1 flat range. It's crazy.
All right, let's see if either of them will go for a hammer skip or they'll play it safe here. I expect them to go for a hammer skip.
Yeah, and I think we've kind of seen some of that action from some runners in the tournament. So most of them going for hammer skip as a trick that, even though some of them hate it, they definitely have grown to put it into their runs. They're consistent enough, and it's kind of comes down to some strats that some runners use to make it a little bit more safe in race environments. But sometimes they'll just go with it. And you can see right there, you can see Cullen with the bash, so he's just gonna get to kill himself. Pixel actually got it first try there, so that's really fast for him. So Cullen taking that safe strat, but it costs a little bit of time, as you can see. So it's kind of just up to the runners, like what do they want to play this early in the run? Do they want to risk having to go all the way back to the first warp there, or do they want to try to optimize a little bit?
Also, one thing to note, both of those guys got the checkpoint nearby. As we have seen in this tournament already, that can cost you a lot of time if you just hammer skip.
Yeah. Yeah, 222 JF Rock from Pixel is really, really solid. Like, best I've ever gotten is like a 221, and that was after like a ton of jellyfish attempts. So getting a 222 in a race is really
that is definitely a point.
Pixel's gonna go for it. Pat's hammer. Jack Cullen will almost certainly be going for good one.
We're gonna see Pixel. Yeah, first try.
Ooh,
really
good.
Clean.
Yeah,
it's looking to be like a 312 JF. That's probably
like 313. Yeah, very close.
Oh, I thought Cullen was about to go for the one frame setup where he just jumped straight to Patrick. that spooked me out.
And that's just kind of the level of competition we're at right now. These guys are going to go at each other, but Pixel already off to a really strong start. Cullen, he's not far behind by any means, but I think Pixel just kind of taking an early lead here, setting a very good tone for him. His play so far has just been pretty clean. His movement on point, his tricks are landing.
Yeah, it is worth noting that Pixel still does the old Sponge Glide route, while Cullen does the early Towers Glide. Actually, wait, Pixel does Early Towers Glide, right?
I'm pretty sure he still does the old sponge glide.
Okay.
I've talked to him about it before, and he says he'd still do that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because I'm pretty sure, because I tried to remember from my race with Pixel, like whether he did old glide, and I was pretty sure that he did.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for Pixel, it might not be worth it just because he's kind of coming off of a long hiatus. Not super recently, like he's been playing a good amount recently, but before that, you know, trying to get into these new stretch, there's only so much you can handle on that level.
Yeah, Pixel has had some really good movement so far.
Standard segments from these two so far. No real mistakes made so far by either of these guys.
Yeah.
Cullen just behind because he was playing it safe in JF1. Understandable.
Alright, so coming up into Sea Needle in a little bit here, and we've been talking, you know, this entire tournament. I think Sea Needle can kind of make or break these runs, especially in a race environment. You know, everyone likes to believe it's that consistent trick that you never need to worry about, but in reality, like the small subtle movement in Sea Needle can end up costing you a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of people. Oh, but yeah, I was just gonna say a lot of people in this tournament so far have. A lot of them have had like perfect Sea Needles. However, a lot have also messed up the movement and got off cycle. Getting off cycle at all in Sea Needle, especially in the first and second windows, can throw you off almost like 10 to 15 seconds.
Colin dodging through some sinks right there. That was a little tight.
Yeah, any small movement error in Sea Needle can cost you very dearly.
Alright, so we're going to see Pixel going into Sea Needle, so let's see where that goes. Colin's going to enter as well very soon.
Yeah.
But for the majority of people who have been playing this game as long as they have, it's pretty much ingrained in their muscle memory, and yet there's still the chance that they can mess it up, just because it is really easy to mess up, especially in this kind of environment, as you said, Jessica.
Yeah, and I think like part of it is like with Sea Needle in particular, even if you do have that muscle memory, a large part of it is that muscle memory. So if your cycle is off at all, like if you know accidentally maybe are off by a hair, you miss like one dive down with the T keys, it can kind of throw off like the rest of your movement just because you feel out of place. You kind of miss that muscle memory window by missing the cycle. But Pixel, that's not the case for sure. He's looking pretty clean right now. Doesn't get the like the dive,
the infinite dive.
Yeah, the infinite dive. Sorry.
Cost him a few seconds, but he still got all the.
Yeah, that was still a really good cycle there from him.
Does give Cullen a little more of a chance to catch just a little bit.
Yeah, and Colin doing fine there too. So both runners really good Sea Needle.
730 Sea Needle from Pixel. That's insane.
Yeah, I think right now both of these guys are having very, very good no resets. Like in this race environment, it's pretty impressive to see what they're putting up. You know, we've seen minimal, like even minimal minor mistakes at this point from both of these guys.
Yeah.
By the way, messing up that jump onto the platform as Sandy is definitely easier than you think it'd be.
Yeah, I think we've seen some people do it a few times this tournament.
Yeah, and if you fall past the fence below the platform, you just get stuck down there.
Yeah, it's bad. It's the
Or you,
good outcome.
Yeah, or you could land on the fence, get stuck there, and get taken out by Hans. That's happened to me before.
821 entrance to rooftops for Pixel.
Yeah, alright, so we're going to see Colin a little bit behind, but definitely not out for sure. It's only 10, 12 seconds.
11 to 12 seconds.
Yeah. It is early, and if both of these guys have any weird movement here in these rooftops, you can end up missing a cycle, which will cost you a few seconds, probably make up that gap. So we'll see if that ends up happening. But I think both of these guys have a pretty good handle on their rooftop cycles here.
It's hard to mess up after playing the game as long as they have. That's for sure.
Yeah, once you kind of, what I noticed with a lot of runners for this particular cycle is like once you kind of get that fast cycle muscle memory in your head, like it's really hard to miss the cycle in the future. You kind of just do it. It's not a segment that's really changed at all. And we're gonna see Pixel there. He actually barely made that, but like I said, like that muscle memory, you know, even if you have that muscle memory where you're barely missing the cycle, you know, and Colin's a little closer too, like you'll never miss it even if it is cutting it a little close, just because you know that you're always going to be cutting it a little close.
Pixel getting a pretty generous tartar placement. That's the one thing about rooftops that can throw people off, though.
Yeah, I think that is a really underrated variable for rooftops. A lot of people don't realize, you know, they take for granted that the tartar is just going to be there for you to kind of.
Might be behind cycle
Nice.
here. Oh, he barely made
Oh,
it.
he barely made
How
it.
did he have enough height there? That was really close. Yeah, so Colin's actually gonna make up a little bit of time there because he skipped the ledge grab on the slide, so he was a bit faster on the cycle. So that probably made up like a second or two.
Yeah, and it helps that Sandy's animation for ledge get-ups is relatively slow, especially compared to SpongeBob's.
The way Cullen dodges that chuck always gives me a bit of a scare.
These are trained professionals. You know, these guys have been dodging chuck missiles since they were babies.
These guys love to live dangerously.
See, that's what I love about this tournament. Like, everyone has their own setups for stuff that people don't necessarily like know about. So like whenever I go into Squid Stream, everyone says it's like really scary when I get the sock, but it just feels normal to me. And that chuck dodge from Cullen probably just seems normal to him, but to a viewer it might seem very scary to go for. So I find it cool.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of this tournament has just been getting to see, like you mentioned, like getting to see all those small preferences that really distinguish one person's run over the other. You know, everyone kind of has that different flavor to their run that you don't always get to see, because you just for most of these runners, like at the end of the day, you just see, you know, a final time and you just know they're improving, but you never get to spend too much time looking at that minutia in their runs, and it's really interesting to get to see.
Pixel got exit at 11:42. Pretty good downtown segment from him.
Kieran's looking to get about around a 11:51. Yeah.
Yeah, also very good. So both of these guys are going to go into Squid's Tiki.
So only 9 seconds between these two.
Yeah. So Colin,
any major slip up could change the complexion of this race by a ton.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a big deviation in the route, as they're going to go for different sponge glides here.
We think.
We think, but I did see that, you know, Pixel has been trying to learn this new early towers glide, so we could see it from him here. It's not clear, so I think that could really shake things up. We'll see. It's something that he's not as familiar with, so if he can perform well at it, it could definitely be a huge benefit to him in this run, because it does save time over the old route.
Doing the cutscenes, or not. He's doing the cutscene
skip. Actually, both of these guys going for the cutscene skip, so playing it extra safe. I'm surprised.
I don't think no one's like got taken out by Han so far.
No, I feel like it's a big worry for both of these guys though, but it's pretty consistent to not get grabbed, but I can definitely see like nerves. You know, I think everyone once or twice has just had nerves about it, and when you think about it is when it happens for sure. Oh, he's looking like he's going for this early tower setup, so we'll see who can set up better here. Colin's still going for the one frame. Okay, not gonna get the momentum he needs. Colin with the
bash? What the heck?
I love that.
That's a strat that's a strat that I'm pretty sure.
Wait, we gotta talk about Pixel here. Pixel's not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna make it.
Oh, he got the descent.
Yeah. So we'll see. Colin's going for this.
I was gonna say that.
Colin's got it. He's got it.
That one frame bash was like a strat from the old days when Cole and Hazel used to run.
To the right? No, okay.
No, he's fine. He's perfectly fine.
I've gone to the right.
Pixel can get this here. Pixel's got it too. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's good.
not too bad for Pixel, and I think he kind of, you know, you can definitely tell with that trick if you've messed it up or not. So I think, you know, he
Oh,
quickly.
Cullen's
Oh,
drowning.
no!
Oh
I think he's just gonna. Okay, he's going
No,
Well, he
for.
killed the robot, so right.
Yeah.
So he should. I guess the problem now is that even though they could do the old glide, you know, they've
Not
kind of
used to
already
it.
got this new glide in the memory, and it's really hard. You know, as someone who's kind of trying to pick this
Ooh.
up now, you know, it's really hard.
Cullen's setup. I feel like he's going too far to the right, and I
Cul-
just
I think
didn't
he's
think
just
he was
going too
gonna.
far out.
Cullen had a chance
Oh, he's
to
good
make
there.
up
He's
a
good there.
ton of ground there, and
Yeah.
then that happened.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate, but he's still, you know, because Pixel did have his own problems, so he's still not out. It's pretty much where it was. Colin lost a little bit of time to Pixel, so Pixel's got a little bit of a lead here, but
I looked away for a second. I looked back, and Cullen was still gliding, so I thought he missed the checkpoint.
no,
or
no,
missed the
no, that would be
chase.
tragic.
Nice slide bash from Pixel.
Yeah, you gotta have the swag strats in a race, man, especially after you just did the glide faster than your opponent. You know, you
Fun
gotta.
fact, that does
that's
not
flag.
save time at all. In fact, it loses time.
That's why you gotta go for it.
Yeah. You go slow to go fast. It's like Sonic.
It's
It's like Sonic 3.
yeah, it's exactly like Sonic. Cause like even if you're not necessarily going fast, you just feel fast. Ooh, and Colin's gonna
Oh.
miss a lot of shinies there.
That's gonna be a problem heading into Murmulair and Sand Mountain.
I mean,
You know,
fortunately for Cullen, you know, like there's a lot of shiny backup strats that we have now to kind of make up for that time. But it is a time loss in a situation where he's already behind. So that's
Yeah.
not what you're looking for.
I don't know. Cullen's shiny route is really
Oh,
good. Like
falling off the flags. You hate to see it.
he consistently overkills on shinies. Because he goes for the Shady Shoals stack. I think 3 times in his route.
Yeah.
Sometimes he underkills. Cause I've seen a lot of times that when he's gotten to Mercer Crabs and had to cruise bubble a Tiki stack because he was
Really?
down
There
by
we go.
30.
Yeah, so Colin having a little bit of trouble with those jumps there. He was doing them a little too quick a few times, but he finally got the cadence down. So he's going to go into this pure segment now. But yeah, it's looking like he's a little bit more behind now. I think we're looking at, you know, 30, 40 seconds now. So pretty considerable margin, especially with the trouble that he had there with tower skip. So we'll see if he can get the cutscene skip first try here. It's a good setup, so he should be fine here as Pixel's going to end up rounding out Gulagoon, heading to Robo Sandy in a second. Colin finishing up this pier segment, gonna go into the beach to clean out Gulagoon as well.
Alright, left side or right side for Pixel boys?
I'm calling
maybe-
right side.
I'm calling no side.
No side, he's not gonna go for the sock.
No, he just goes in the front of the trampoline and somehow jumps
I
under.
don't think that's possible.
Yeah, he's
Right
right side.
I mean, anything is possible.
I
in
feel like
battle.
a lot of these older runners tend to go for right side just because it's kind of been a thing that we do.
Yeah. 2017 gang. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2017 had a lot of I feel like a lot of the top runners now started running the game back in 2017.
I feel like it was a really good time, that time specifically, for people to do runs of battle. As Colin gets the ledge grab, a little slow, but still going to get the sock that he needs to get a spat here from Patrick. But yeah, I feel like it was a good time, and he remembers the connected towers. He's been having a lot of trouble remembering that. He has a split in his splits when he does runs. He has a split name, and it's just warp to towers. But yeah, I feel like 2017 was a really good year for people to get into the game. It was still like the tricks that were there then were not necessarily, you know, like faster stuff, but they required a little bit more research and practice than some of the tricks do now. So I feel like the newer tricks that have shown up, these older runners have been able to adapt to them really well because they're kind of already used to how they work out. Whereas, you know, some of the newer runners, even though, you know, and we have a bunch of newer runners in the tournament, like you can already see, you know, like I think Seal is, you know, not necessarily new, but like people that haven't been actively running the game until more recently.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that progression as well. But I think for the most part, like it's these older runners that have been running for 1.5, 2 years that are really taking advantage of the new strats that we have. And these, I mean, for good reason, these guys already have a bunch of experience. Now it's just how do we go even faster? How do we optimize the game? Things like that.
Yeah, and I feel like Seal is like the prime example of that, because like he out of like everyone in the tournament right now, he's started the most recently, and he has one of the best seeds in the bracket with a 59.07, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's crazy because until like recently, like I hadn't even I hadn't even seen any of his runs. Hadn't heard of him doing runs.
Yeah.
So
people just quietly grinding away, man.
For sure, and I think that's a big thing. I've seen some people just kind of quietly grind away at the game. Just good, honest work.
Tournaments definitely brought out the best in a lot of people. There've been a ton of PBs in the last month.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened in the last tournament that we had in the community. Like I noticed that a lot of people started improving their seeds insanely quickly once the tournament entries started.
Yeah, and I think that's been a thing, is that I feel like a lot of these guys have been lacking competition. Not all of them, because like we said, some of them are more up and coming, but a lot of these guys were kind of satisfied with their times. And then I think these kinds of events, these kinds of tournaments have been able to give them that competitive spark that they first felt when they started running the game. It's kind of given them that extra push and motivation to really dedicate some more time to really improving their game. And it definitely shows.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got some Poseidon gameplay right here. Insert comment about 16%.
This looks like it's gonna be a 21-1 extra Pixel.
Yeah. Pixel, we don't even get to talk about it, but one thing I always like to bring up, and we were talking about it earlier with those subtle differences in the runs, I feel like on this as well as RoboPat, you can really see like those subtle movement differences. Everyone has a different setup. They go to a different corner of the ring to get these manips. You can see Colin goes to the right, but a lot of other runners, go to the left, but even some of them go to the middle. Like Pixel kind of ended up in the middle. But
some runners just go wherever.
Yeah, exactly. They just go wherever. But yeah, it's really interesting to see those kinds of small optimizations. You don't really lose, time in Poseidon. It's just not something that happens that frequently.
So really a 27-second gap between the two right now. It's still close enough where anything can bring them two together.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad as it was before for Colin. It's looked up a little bit. Although I think he might have missed that bowl. I don't think he charged it enough. We'll see. I might be wrong, but
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I saw the blue shinies.
Oh, okay,
so.
he did. Yeah, okay, he did get it. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, I guess. I don't want him to lose even more time.
Yeah. I love when I'm in a 16% run, I throw the bubble bowl at the dupe. Oh wait, no, actually I can't.
You can't use the bubble.
Yeah, I forgot. No, I just didn't. Wow, I don't even. I don't even know my own category. No, okay, I hate in any percent when like I throw the bubble bowl at the duplicator throw.
Oh, okay, this was good.
That was a really close.
He jumped a little too early.
Yeah, that was a little sus from Pixel there, but he ended up touching it out.
I'm just gonna stop what I'm saying. It's so jumbled.
No, I definitely see what you're saying though. Poseidon can kind of be an interesting, or not Poseidon, Freedom. They both have dome in the name. It can be a really interesting segment.
Yeah, no, I was just saying.
I think you two need to fix your domes.
No, I just.
It's all in good fun, ladies and gentlemen.
I just need to deafen.
Anyway, Pixel coming up on Krusty Krab now. Cullen right behind him in Chum Bucket. Oh, Cullen getting back by the... I didn't bubble bash high enough.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It happens sometimes, like we were saying, like kind of the small things. Pixel not getting really... Not only did he get hit, he got really poor RNG, so that could work in Cullen's favor to make up the difference there that just happened.
I'm interested in seeing what route Cullen goes for, because I know recently he added the bathroom boost route.
Yeah.
But will he go for the old strats and potentially go for oil skip again in Dream? Because I think right now he's really only doing slide skip.
Oh,
and
okay,
Sandy.
really? That was pretty solid RNG there for Colin, so that's good. But
That'll
yeah,
save him a few. That'll save him a few seconds.
so he's 17 seconds behind, or sorry, no, a little bit more than that. Sorry, it's about 20 seconds right now, 19 seconds. So we'll see how this goes for both of these runners.
Really clean slide skip, Pixel.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think like Dream is always a. Actually, wait, did both of these guys? Oh, sorry, I thought they had the same shiny count. I was really Oh, Colin get a really weird. Did you see that?
Yeah, getting
Oh my
stuck
gosh.
between the spikes.
He's lucky that didn't go worse for him, but actually that can be really bad because he's gonna have to do a little bit of a backup here. He's gonna have to go around, and he does there. So good reaction there from Cullen. But
Yeah, Cullen's got the backup strats down pat.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed that watching his runs a lot.
Alright, so Pixel on the left side gang here. First try, nice, good stuff there.
Yeah, it appears that Cullen's gonna forego oil skip and then just get it later on.
Yeah, again, it all comes down to preference. You know, like people like to start with Sandy Nut because it can be a little bit of an issue, so they'd rather just get it out of the way so they can maintain their sanity when they're going for oil skip.
Yep. I believe this will be a routing difference, however. It appears he got the trigger.
That should have worked.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Hopefully, I feel like that's the name of the game when it comes to this trick. Is like a lot of people are just kind of like jump and pray that it'll work.
And he got it.
All right, good stuff there for Colin. So we'll see. I think you're right. He is gonna save Dream 2 for later. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So Pixel already going for oil skip, but yeah, Colin's gonna save that for later when he's got his cruise boost going.
Which means we'll be seeing a very early sleepy skip from him. In fact, he's going for it right now. Interesting. Pixel got trigger. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, so Pixel's good. So both of these guys have a pretty solid Dream 1. We're gonna see Colin's gonna go for bathroom boost here. See how this plays out.
So this is kind of like sleepy skip, in which you let the sleepy type robot damage boost you off the ledge there. However, it's definitely more accessible than that trick.
Yeah, Colin getting a slightly his slide there, his bash was pretty slow, but he did make it, and he did get a bowl out there to kind of give him a little bit of a speed boost on the hot sauce there. So he made up for a little bit.
Pretty sure it only loses like 5 seconds in the route to doing all of this later on with cruise boosting.
This is gonna be interesting. Can you get this first try? Oh, okay, he's a little late, and he has to. The problem with this early on in the run is if you don't have cruise boost, there's no way to save this. You just have to take the L. You have to reload the level. You have to go for it again. You know, whereas when you have your cruise boost, you can just go for the backup. You know.
Second try though, and it's interesting because this looks like a different setup from him than I'm used to.
Yeah, I feel like Sleepy Skip is one of those tricks that a lot of runners just kind of they've spent a lot of time experimenting with different things, you know, to try to make it more consistent for them. And sometimes you feel like a little bit more comfortable with something that you might not even do that often, but you just feel it's a comfort strat, and those can be very meaningful in races. Alright, so Colin's going to go into Mermalair. Meanwhile, Pixel's already finishing up the funnel machine segment here. Going to go on to the second funnel as Colin enters the lobby.
Did not get the damage boost off of the disco pad, as they call it.
Alright, so Colin, yeah, not going to lose any more time there, so that's good. That's what he needs right now.
Pretty clean funnel machines from Pixel too.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Alright, so Colin's going to go on to start up funnel machines. He doesn't go for the computer. Oh, he does, yeah, he does go for the computer room sock, which is a little bit of a difference from a lot of runners nowadays don't like to go for the sock for this, pretty much this reason. Like it's really annoying to have to get up there. So it's the least preferred sock for a lot of runners of the fast socks that exist in our routes.
And Colin does computer room sock in place of the one frame tower sock in Goo Lagoon.
Yeah.
Cullen's very low on underwear right now.
Yeah, I hope he should be fine unless something goes horribly wrong on this third stack. I think the bigger issue was just that first button there. He didn't want to mess up something on accident, but he's looking all right now.
Pixel taking a little bit of time to set up slide skip. He should be good though.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah. Yeah, slide skip is just one of those things that you do not want to miss in a race. It just eats time away from you. Okay, so he
Whoa,
jumped
that
up.
was really close.
I saw that coming. He saw it coming too. He jumped real quick.
Cullen seems to be fine on his shiny rats though. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, Pixel getting hit by the chuck there on security tunnel. Got the initial jump though. Maybe a little behind cycle. He'll make it though.
He's just gonna bubble one of the dogs away. That's not something I see too often. Usually people go for like a bowl or something, but there you go, I guess. And you can see they're Colin going for mostly like the melon stressor, excuse me, and then while Pixel kind of he belly slammed like almost every button, like the latter half of that segment of funnel machines. So that's just again one of those like subtle differences in how people do these strats.
Pixel looking to get out of Marble Air pretty unscathed, however.
Yeah, so far I think Pixel has been playing, really cleanly right now.
My mom is calling me. Give me a sec.
Alright, Jack. Anyway, the only real major mistake that Pixel made. Oh, missing the. Well, there's one. He missed the button. Nah, but the only real problem he had was during Spongy Glide, and that's probably because he just started doing the
Yeah,
new setup.
yeah. And I mean, compared to Colin, like he's been doing okay. Colin is they've kind of been tit for tat with like major mistakes. Was just that glide. Like Pixel died, but then Colin he died as well. So it was really and he's gonna get a bad spawn there from the dog. So even more problems there. But yeah, this is definitely still doable for Colin. But Pixel again, like we're saying, playing really cleanly right now. So it's going to be a little difficult for Colin. He's going to have to step up his game, which is definitely possible. Like, again, we were talking about like these winners matches. Colin was doing really well in that match versus Jack. Like, that was a really, really good race for both of those guys. So I think, both of these players have such a high potential. It's kind of up to them at this point to keep going and for Pixel to just keep everything clean and for Colin to kind of get that level up that he needs to bring this back.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens, especially in Industrial Park.
Yeah, and I think like Industrial Park is another one of those segments. We talk about Poseidon where it's a little subtle things, but with Industrial Park it's a whole other level of subtlety. But the difference is that while the individual runner strats are subtle, the time loss that they get for those subtle movements, if they're not good, is not subtle at all. It's the opposite of subtle. It's immense, like you can lose up to like 30 seconds with really bad manips and really bad.
Or you could do everything right and just not save time because RoboPad is an idiot.
Exactly. And that's just kind of the thing that happens is, pseudo RNH, as they say. It's really it can be really weird for a lot of people, but these guys, they kind of have a system that works for them, and I don't anticipate that we'll see anything egregiously bad, but it definitely will come down to, like, are there any subtle differences, any subtle issues that they might have with those manips that can cost them a little bit of time. It'll kind of give Colin a chance to equalize the race if things go his way.
Like a pretty standard sand mountain for both of these guys.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
How's it going, Jack?
I'm doing alright.
Yeah. Alright, Colin, you gonna get that. He's going for Billboard. I just like it scares me every time I see these guys go for billboard skip because sometimes the physics with SpongeBob can be kind of weird and he kind of slides weirdly if you jump off the slide at weird places on the slide. So it can give him weird momentum that kind of throws you off if you try to jump. And one of those places by billboard skip.
You're only really saving like a second at the most, though.
Yeah, it's not that much of a time save. It's more of a small optimization that a lot of people are comfortable with.
It's not hard to do, but it's also really easy to mess up sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm still getting all the shinies above the spatula. Interesting.
Is that a swag strat?
See, I tried to do that one, and I never mind.
Alright, Pixel gonna enter Industrial Park. Meanwhile, Colin cleaning up the rest of Sand Mountain. I believe he'll be going for the Lodge Stock here.
Yeah, I think Colin kind of, yeah, he's gonna go for it. So a little bit more of like a it's weird because I think actually Pixel has gone for a little bit of a more of a route mix-up than Colin has here in terms of implementing these latest strats and theories on what the route should be for this caliber of runners. Alright, so here we go. We have Pixel in phase 1 of Industrial Park, and I think this is where it's gonna get a little spicy. Even on like phase 1, not as much phase 2, but even on phase 1, like depending on where Robopat lands, you can save or lose in a small amount of time. I mean, like phase 1.
Oh, Colin getting hit by that chuck. Ooh.
Oh god.
Perhaps he should have taken his time with that and waited for the chuck to throw it.
He's just gonna go for it again. He got it that time. At that point, Colin's just like, you know what? I don't even care. We need to go. Let's, we gotta turbo this.
Maximum overdrive.
Turning on the turbo button and the youngest advantage. That's the best way to play Tetris.
Okay, I think, Colin is, I think he's almost like a minute behind at this point. I think he's like a minute, yeah.
Yeah, he's a whole phase 1 behind.
Yeah. That's a good amount of time, especially because Pixel's almost about to get his first hit here.
So while we have the time, I'd like to remind everyone that PACE registrations are still open for April 25th to 28th. You'll be able to see the grand finals for Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 64, and Celeste. Type exclamation point tickets in the chat for more info.
Thank you, Hasper.
Yeah, PACE is definitely shaping up to be a really cool event.
Yeah. Very competitive, or just competition-focused speedrunning marathon, which you don't really see too often.
Yeah, I really like the direction that speedrunning in general is going. I feel like everyone has kind of the hobby itself has kind of evolved into a little bit more of something that people can kind of put weight behind.
More like an esport now.
But it's still in a way that's engaging for both the players and the viewers. The experience has shifted a lot, and for a lot of, I think it's cool because for a lot of games, like there haven't been really ways to make races engaging because it's really hard with speedruns. I think they're in a unique situation just because it's really easy to identify skill gaps. So I think like when you have there's just not a comeback mechanic that's present in a lot of games when you do these kinds of competitions. So it's a little bit of a balancing act to make sure that your competition pool is strong, but also just trying to elevate the rest of the community to the same level so that they can participate and they can compete in these really cool events. So I think it's kind of seen a shift there.
Meanwhile, Pixel getting probably the worst placement for Robopat here.
Ooh, yeah, that was really bad actually.
Back front is the last place you want him to land.
Yeah, especially with where Pixel is positioned, that's pretty much worst case. So that could be good for Colin, especially if it happens again. And the thing with Patrick Manips is if the first one goes bad, chances are the rest will follow in a not so good way. So
Although
all the
Pixel got a really good
word
one.
there, yeah, he landed right in the corner. So good stuff there from Pixel.
The reverse commentators curse.
Commentator's blessing.
The Patrick Bless.
The Patrick Bless.
Shoutouts to my brother.
Brother's Robopat?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
he made Industrial Park. No.
Oh my gosh. Alright, there we go. Pixel getting okay, so he recovered really well from that first minute. Oh, except he didn't hit it that time, but
That
Yeah.
that hitbox is really jank.
yeah, it can be a little weird for the especially because like as soon as the ball touches the acid, it just disappears and it looks the same as when it hits Robo Patrick. It's really weird.
Pixel about to enter rock bottom. Mind you that both these guys' routes will be different. Cullen will go for a lot of the harder segments right after this, like SpongeBob's Dream 2 and Murmler 2.
Yeah, Squid Stream is a very nerve-wracking segment, especially since it's literally like third to last level in the run.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to do it early.
Alright, so Cullen's gonna finish up this last manip here as Pixel's gonna go into rock bottom.
Yeah.
And
Pixel's
yeah.
got some really good rock bottom golds.
I feel like that was a little too long of a spin from Robopad for Cullen, but he landed in a good spot.
Yeah, that can kind of happen with Patrick. It's kind of hit or miss, but we're gonna see Cullen go into Dream 2 here. We're gonna see how he can go with these cruise boosts. He's gonna get a first try here. So let's see how that goes.
The hardest part, in my opinion, is getting the first try cruise boost. After that, the movement's pretty standard. Even on Sock Cycle, if you practice it enough, you get it pretty much ingrained in your muscle memory.
Yeah, I think sometimes an issue that comes after first try cruise boost is actually the runners go too fast. They forget to kind of stall just a little bit, and they end up making it hard.
That was pretty clean.
Clean? With
Heck
the voice
yeah.
crack.
Yeah, same thing from Pixel there so far. We're gonna see how Pixel does here coming up to Sponge Museum, but Cullen's gonna keep cleaning up Dream here. Let's see, does he go for a oil skip first? No, he's gonna go for the spat first. So yeah, he's gonna do the dive.
That Chuck had no idea where Pixel was going.
Ooh.
Interesting camera strats here.
Yeah, I think his idea was just try to get caught on the pineapple there, but it doesn't work out too well. And did he get that? What he actually got? That was a really strange cruise boost, but Cullen, he nailed it right there.
Cullen pulling out the weak cruise boost angles again.
Yeah, I think that was fast. He canceled the cruise boost on the oil bot instead of bowling to cancel it, so taking that damage.
Meanwhile, Pixel was a little bit behind cycle there.
Although second cycle usually
It's not that slow, yeah.
it loses like 6 seconds at most.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Negligible time loss.
Alright, ballroom clip coming up.
All right, this is where things get spicy, and we've seen a lot of crazy ballrooms for these guys. I can try.
That is
try it.
spicy.
Pretty
That's
good.
really good, yeah. And that's kind of again that's kind of the stuff that Cullen needs to be doing right now to catch back up in this race, make up for the deficit that he's seen from just Pixel playing really well. You know, like we were saying, you know, Pixel, you know, they've both kind of made some mistakes here and there, but nothing really super major from
Oh,
Pixel.
missing the trigger in prawn. Ooh.
All right, a little bit too far out to the right, so
It recovered pretty well.
yeah, it did recover, yeah. We're gonna see Pixel. His first try. Really good stuff there from Pixel.
Let's go.
Let's go. Ow! Alright, so now we're gonna see Cullen. And so this is spicy for Cullen, and Pixel's not too far behind in that regard either. He's about to come up to that segment as well. Cullen's gonna go into over the moat and then into kids here.
Ooh, okay, that's a risky one. Going for the spin, jump, spin. But Pixel made it work.
Yeah, it
Fast
worked out.
Trench.
Jack like a money strat.
Jack like a money strat.
Money strat.
It is a thing.
All right, so good over the moat for Colin. Now we're gonna go into kids. So this is like another one of those segments where things can just go really right, and it feels so fast. It's just clean, but it can also just go so wrong.
Got the first try cruise boost.
Okay,
Try ballroom clip from Pixel.
this
Was
is
a little unlucky with that kit placement though.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still okay for him. Like you can see here, he's still on a pretty solid cycle for kids. So, and again, if Pixel kind of makes some mistakes in that regard as well, you know, that kind of cancels out the whole effect. But
Whoa, that looked really close.
really close, but Colin making it seem easy. He even gets that one too. That one was as far out as it can be. So Colin looking pretty good.
Really bad kit placement.
Okay, there we go.
Still recovered that really well though.
Yeah, he's still looking very good. Still looking very
the
good.
fifth one feels bad, I gotta say.
All right, so
he's gonna
now,
go back to rock
now
bottom.
he's gonna go to rock bottom. So I think Colin here is still behind, you know, like around a minute.
Alright, Pixel, is he gonna go for the G?
Yep,
Jack like a money strat, let's go.
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah, I feel like that that double jump, bubble glide or bubble bounce rather is just such a consistent strat. You know, we saw a lot of people started by going for double jump, bubble wands, and then a well-timed bounce, but over time, I think people just realized how consistent the double jump bubble bounce is versus using the bubble wand in addition.
Pixel looked like he got better kid RNG than Cullen did. So.
Yeah, Pixel just looking really well practiced right now. Like I have to wonder like how much time he put in practicing for this race because he's honestly looking very good.
He probably skipped out on the bagel this time. Was it a bagel or a donut that he was?
In his first win. Before his first tournament win, Pixel told me that he prepared by eating a bagel and watching Netflix.
My boy, Pixel.
Hey, it worked.
Did it though?
He did. He won.
Oh, that one? Oh, okay.
That was actually the first round that was the first match of the tournament. It was him against JB.
Oh, okay. All right, so Colin gonna go into museum here. So this is another segment that can be a little volatile for some. So we'll see where it goes here.
Yeah. If he gets the fast cycle for the tire, then he can make up about 6 seconds. Ooh.
Missing some cruise boost though. He'll be behind. Oh, that looked really shaky.
Okay, at that point, it's just good that he made it up there. that was really close.
Yep.
All right, there we go. So he's gonna. I'm surprised he doesn't want to go for the RCB there. I'd say, you know, he needs every second of time save he can get at this point.
He does not usually go for the RCB though, so it makes sense.
So at this point in the run, you know, I think we should really be looking for Cullen to take some more calculated risks when it comes to these strats. You know, I want to see him go for rock skip. You know, I want to see him go for at least a couple RCBs here and there. But I think he's got to kind of recognize at this point that Pixel has been playing really well, and he's had a few, you know, mistakes here and there where he really needs to make up the lost time for it. Oh, it did. And right there, Pixel just slipped by. He got a really clean. So, and this is the issue is that, you know, while Cullen's over here, you know, Pixel's getting these really good, like he just got a really good rock skip there. So, like, what do you do?
Pixel not making a ton of mistakes, really.
Oh wait, Pixel didn't go for rock skip.
Oh, maybe I'm just blind then.
But that was still really clean movement.
Put your glasses back on, Sway.
I got. See now I have to spin it to a positive.
Yeah, I guess it was just so fast. So like I thought he did. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like an angle where you would come
Yeah,
over from the
it was
rocks.
definitely a little bit more of a
What
any
was
kind of
that?
weird
What was
artifact.
that? That was some weird. That was some weird
What?
graphic rendering there.
Oh no, that was the bubble wand. Like it just like shot down. What was that? Okay, that was whack.
That was
So-
kind of shush.
Let's talk about paces here, guys. Where do you think that these guys are headed for right now?
I'm not sure if Pixel's route hadn't changed as much as it did. I don't know. This could have been potentially a 59 for him.
I'm
He
looking
has
at
been
my
pl-
I'm looking at my splits right now, trying to like tell. I think Pixel's about a minute and a half behind my splits. So like low one flat possibly. If he plays like a god, he could maybe 59, but I'll get a better sense of it once he warps out of jellyfish.
His late game has been pretty good so far, though. Oh,
Yeah.
he'll be a little behind on shinies there. Though. That bubble ball did not hit.
Yeah, this has been very solid.
Alright, so let's see. Let's keep an eye. I want to see. Is Colin gonna go for those calculated risks? And you see there, he decides
Yes.
not to.
I've seen him get rock skip before, so that was interesting. He didn't go for it.
I think at this point, Colin's kind of trying to prioritize not losing more time than he needs to. Just play, as best he can in the way that he's most consistent with, just to try to make sure that if Pixel makes any mistakes, he's going to be right on his heels. That being said, Pixel, looking really good right now. So it's going to be it's going to be a huge fight here as we enter the last part of the game here.
Yeah.
Not quite getting the taxi pad skip.
Okay, so I'm looking at my splits right now. Pixel is a minute 32 behind mine. So
Low one flat at the moment.
see, I actually have I think I have 6 seconds in Dream 2 and 5 in Dutchman, and I don't have a gold with Fast Brain. So if he gets a really good Kelp, Dream, Dutchman, and Fast Brain, he could potentially get a 59 still.
It's looking pretty solid from him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely won't be anything higher than a one flat time, I don't think.
We'll definitely see these two meet up in Dutchman's though.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. All right,
It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
to tell when both of these guys change their routes so much.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of where we're at in the game today. Specifically for these higher level runners, like the route has been very volatile lately, just because it's kind of been a marriage of a myriad of new tricks that have been found, as well as just like different. I feel like everyone's kind of had a little bit of time to get the old habits out of their system and get more accustomed to these new tricks and try to figure out ways to add them into the run. And the routes that you're seeing now are kind of the culmination of that. It's happened over the past half a year or so, is where a lot of these guys kind of have just kicked those old habits they have and spent more time with the new tricks that we've found recently.
I agree.
Thanks,
Neutral
Jack.
carrot.
The neutral carrot.
Neutral carrot.
It's my dream.
All right, so actually,
Colin.
yeah, Colin's gonna go in. He doesn't get the cutscene skip.
A little
He gets
blocked
looked.
by the taxi pad there.
Yeah,
But still going to finish K up and go to Dream 2.
yeah. So I think at this point, this is
Oh,
Just-
Cullen with the rainbow tubelets.
Let's go.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
yeah. I think that's something interesting that not everyone realizes that
Oh, leaf strat.
5304.
those enemies. Sorry, it took me a second. I was like, what are they called? The enemies there with the the floaties. They spit out different flames depending on the date. So depending on what your Xbox or GameCube or PS2 date is or whatever, there's certain days that have different color schemes. So
That was a really weird angle for Colin on that jump here.
He got it.
That was kind of a weird angle that Pixel went for his cruise boost.
Not going for sock cycle. Interesting.
Okay, yeah, I think that's kind of why he went for computer room sock, is to not have to deal with sock cycle here in Dream 2.
Although that means that he's going for Dutchman Lake sock, and missing that could be like 7.
Actually, sorry, that's wrong. Sorry, that was Cullen that went for computer room sock. So I guess Pixel just decided he doesn't need it.
The
Yeah.
thing is, Dutchman Lake sock isn't that hard to get if you get first try pull boost.
That's true,
a
but I
if.
feel like it's also slower than going for the sock and Squid's Dream. So I think it was more of a safety strat than anything, just making sure that he doesn't lose time to Squid's Dream. Because there's no reason otherwise for him to want to go for this this lake sock.
Lake sock is pretty fun. I'm just kidding.
He's gonna go for it in a little bit of a weird cycle here. He's gonna get it, so that's good. But he was a little bit late with his cruise boost and stuff, so
Still recovers it pretty well.
yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you have to play reactively, and that could throw you off.
Yeah. All right, so Colin's gonna exit Kelp Forest here. He doesn't have to get the lake sock. He's gonna be done after this. He is a little behind on shinies though. He still needs 40, but he can bowl a stack. That's
He's
low
gonna,
enough
he's,
that he can
he's
bowl
gonna
here.
cruise bubble one of the stone tikis.
Yeah,
bet.
for sure. Yeah, there he goes. So yeah, he's definitely got a good enough shiny count where he can just do that. So, and that's another thing too, is like that is the manifestation of all the way back in Goo Lagoon when he missed the stack on the slide with that jump. That's how far the route can kind of be affected, because that lost him out on over, he would have been like 30 31, I think, maybe 30, high 30, high 3000, low 3100 if he had gotten that. So that's
I'd
just
say,
like a testament.
I'd say Cullen's a minute and a half behind this point, having trouble with pull boost. Again, one of the trickiest cruise boost spots in the game.
Pixel is looking good in Dutchman.
Yeah, I mean, Pixel. The thing with Pixel is he's kind of just been tearing through, the entire game. We haven't seen too many major, we haven't seen any, I don't think, major mistakes from him.
It's going for boat bass.
It doesn't get it, but the backup is super fast for this trick, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see how good Pixel's cannons movement is.
Alright, opting for the Mr. Krabs cruise boost. I don't really know what to call this one. It's like the one next to Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the safest option that you can take.
That Cullen didn't go for the zoom in strat. Also, a little shaky spinning to fall down faster.
Pixel did those platforms really quickly.
That was a really fast cannon segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a difficult catch-up game for Colin. There is still the possibility of a comeback if Pixel stumbles on Robo Sponge. We might even see him go for an attempt at Fast Brain or something of the like.
Well,
so that could be an
we'll
error.
almost certainly see fast brains from both of these. Oh, Cullen also going for boat bash and not getting it.
Oh, he falls.
Killing the chuck so that way we don't have to worry about it again.
Yeah, that's kind of a concern that you can have when you get that like secondary cycles. Sometimes the chuck just decides, hey, I'm gonna hit you because it's Valentine's Day and I'm gonna hit on you, fam. So that can really put a damper on your day when that happens.
I agree.
That's exactly how it plays out.
Yeah. I can see Colin getting these kind of like weirder angle cruise boosts. It's been interesting to see because it's something that. Oh no! Oh my god! But he got the. Was that a manual RCB?
Manual RCBs.
Oh my god! Yeah, I mean, and that's really like that's I feel like that's exactly what Cullen needs to have right now in his attitude. Just like, like, you know what? I'm here, I'm done. I might be down, but I'm not out. I'm just gonna go for it all, Manual, I got hit by the chuck, doesn't matter. I'm gonna toss out a manual RCB. It's gonna be almost as fast.
This can be a board PR for Pixel. This can be a 1 flat 20.
Is that a PR for him?
No, but
board.
it would be his best like that he could submit, assuming he recorded this.
I mean, if he didn't record it,
Then-
we're here. We're
Hey,
here.
Hey, the evidence is here. We all saw it, right, guys?
Evidence is here, yeah.
He
Too
did
many
the cheat
witnesses.
That's crazy. I mean, you can see, like, Pixel has been playing out of his mind right now. He really has been playing at a really high level. So we'll see where inside the brain goes. And,
Ooh.
as I say that.
Robo Sponge Skip strikes again.
I think he's gonna go for.
Fast
He's
brain.
probably
yeah.
gonna go
I think he's gonna go.
Now
for
the
it.
issue here is, does he get it? If he messes it
Nope.
up, yeah, he's not gonna go for it.
Going-
Just taking.
so, unfortunately, we will not see a 59 tonight.
I'm guessing this is gonna be a 1 flat 28. That's my guess.
Yeah, it should be around there. And Cullen's finishing up though. He's coming through, finishing up the Dutchman fight, so he's not gonna be too far behind.
All right, Pixel is at 8 seconds into the run.
Pixel is at a :0012 right now.
Yeah. new unit of measurement.
All right, so Cullen's gonna finish up his socks as Pixel's gonna come to a close here at the hour mark. And this is pretty much where we're looking
He
at.
beat his board time.
What is it?
Oh, he was 1 second off. man.
Oh no!
Dang.
I mean, it's still a very, 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 very showing from Pixel. Very clean throughout the whole race. Like,
No
yeah.
reset time from him.
Yeah, I mean, I think any no reset environment, especially one with as much pressure as this losers bracket, where you can come that close to your board time, is very, very, very impressive.
I mean, oh, okay. I thought it was a 27 second.
Nah.
All right, I bet Cullen goes for fast brain here. Nope.
Nah, just
Closing
it out. Respectable.
Yeah, you gotta just going to close it out, and that's fine. We're seeing Cullen. He's still got a good time here too. You get a 1-0. He's gonna get a mid 101.
Well, unfortunately for Cullen,
101.
this means he will be out of the tournament now.
Yeah. This is the
Pixel will move on to face the winner of Conquer and Ringo after next Monday. Looking ahead, actually, let's see what races we have on the docket for the next few days. All right. Sunday's going to be very interesting. Jackalaka will be going up against Tower, 5:15 Eastern.
That's
Seal will
gonna
be
be
going up
another good one.
against
As Cullen finishes out 101-51.
Seal will be going up against Univa at 6:30 Eastern, and next Monday, of course, Conquer playing Ringo at 7 Eastern.
Hello?
Hey,
Hi,
Pixel.
Pixel. What's up?
Congrats on the win, dude.
Thank you, Hasfar.
Congrats.
Thank you, bros.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey,
How's it
Kieran.
going, Cullen?
Yo, GG, Kieran. Colin.
Yo, good job. Congratulations, bro. We finally, after like months and months of playing, we finally actually did a race that neither of us reset. Dude, I'm proud of both of us.
Applause. Let's go.
Big day.
Yeah. So, how you guys feeling right now?
A little angry that if I hadn't died on ETG, this probably could have been closer to a 59. But
Yeah.
still a good run.
Oh yeah.
That was
yeah.
really interesting to see you going for early towers glide.
Oh, yeah,
despite, like,
because
not having done it as often.
yeah, you want to know something? I learned it last night because I was having trouble with forbidden skip. So I was like, you know what? Let me learn ETG, and I'm surprised I got it as fast as I did. So
It's honestly not that hard to get down consistently once you get the
no,
time.
the first 15-20 minutes of practicing were pretty bad because I was trying to shake the muscle memory off of the old sponge glide. But after like 20-30 minutes, I was getting it pretty consistently.
And how about you, Kieran?
I kind of checked out after I died on early Tower Squad. Really, I just want to get finished as soon as possible so I can start, like, you know, start doing like reset attempts, like PB attempts after.
Yeah.
Makes
I
sense.
really kind of checked out on that one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a rocky early game, but I feel like you guys both played really well in late game.
Yeah. My new route is pretty interesting. It's a little bit wacky. It's a little bit all over the place, but I think it's gonna enable me to get better runs in the future.
Yeah.
Anyway, our next race tonight will be the SM64 16-star league between Paracuzia and Aki.
That's gonna be an interesting match.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype.
Anyways, thank you for the Racers Racing. Thank you for Jessway and Jack for joining me on commentary again.
Sure.
We will see you next time, gamers.
See y'all.
See you guys.
You know, see you later, gamers.